brought me sprinkle cookies.
The what, no fucking TV now?
Hey!
Maybe she's from Jersey.
Hello, everyone. Wow, that was loud. Welcome back to another episode of Maybe She's from Jersey. We're your hosts,
Jackie Neese.
and Alex Curtis, and we are delighted. I was trying to find the best word to have our two guests, but before we introduce them, really quick, because the smell is overwhelming, we want to introduce Fioris, one of the best sandwich places ever. Please tell them what you've got.
I'm gonna take a bite.
Yeah, go ahead. ASMR that shit.
That's hard. There's a word.
All right, so we got a little fresh mozz, prosciutto, roasted peppers, and balsamic glaze.
Amazing.
money.
It smells
Merkle, you
so
gotta get
good.
in the camera more.
All right,
Gotta show yourself
slide
off.
over.
So Fioris Deli is the best place ever. No, it's literally the best place in Hoboken, has the best mozzarella you will ever have in your life. Also, go check out my Sundays video with them about how they make their mozzarella. Really, really good.
Let's go.
Is this your favorite sandwich at Fioris?
I've had a couple different sandwiches. This is my go-to. And then I believe Wednesday they did a special for not roast beef, and phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. That's what
It's
they're
good.
I
shit.
just always get this
Yeah.
at every deli.
It looks incredible. Literally incredible. We'll post some pictures on our
Yeah.
Instagram.
It was fire.
This was our bribe to get them here today.
Yeah.
Let's introduce them. They were like, I don't know if we can make it. And I was like, I'll get you Fioris. They were
Easy
like,
bribe.
fine.
We'll figure it out.
Pull my leg.
So we'll introduce names. I know them as Fish and Merkle, but this is olive oil.
Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth.
What's up, guys? Thanks for the food.
Yeah, of
You're
course.
Thanks for
so
having
welcome.
us.
Thanks for being here today.
So, I'm yelling into this mic. My first question is, who are you? What are your names actually? And how did you get here? How do we know each other? Give it all to me. If you forgot, I'll remind you.
All right, I'll start up. My name is Kevin Merkle. I was born on July 12th,
Oh, happy belated
1995.
birthday.
Yeah, happy
at
belated.
8:07.
You're a
My mom
Cancer.
called me 8:06 just to wait for the minute to wish me happy birthday. Wild stuff. But no, I know you guys from Montclair State. We went to college together.
Yes.
At the time, I was playing football my first few years, and then I got into DJing, and then I started DJing for you guys' sorority. And that's kind of how we know each other.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I brought this kid along. We grew up together
Yeah, I brought you along for the DJ shit. So
a little bit.
It was a joint effort.
Sorry.
yeah,
was
it was
a joint
definitely
effort.
joint effort.
Oh yeah, just a little bit kind of backstory with us. So we grew up together. We weren't really best of friends growing up. We played sports in
Ouch.
high school.
Yeah, that was a little harsh.
First ever bully.
Yeah,
Like, we
first
kind
ever
of-
bully.
Go ahead, tell
kind
the
of fucking
story.
hate
He was my
Tell
first
everybody.
ever bully, and he
What?
doesn't remember this.
I have
No.
no recollection.
Listen,
we were
you keep
8
your
years
friends
old.
close and your enemies closer. I've been saying it for years. Come on.
Oh, Fish, you better watch
Yeah,
out.
my first ever bully, Little League. Actually, not Little League, Farm League, which is like the baseball league before Little League. So it's like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade or something, or actually like 2nd, 3rd grade.
It's like second, third grade.
Yeah, 2nd, 3rd grade. So we were on the same team. It was like a rainy day, and you know how like the sand for like the baseball gets all like muddy and gross. Well, he took my hat and stepped on it, and I remember it because I experienced my first time being
Traumatizing.
bullied. It was traumatizing. This kid doesn't even remember. Fast forward till high school, we played basketball together in high school and became good friends. And then in college, we started working for a wedding company, DJ. Just we want to make like extra money on the side, and none of us knew how to DJ. We're just doing like photo booth and like helping the guy out and stuff. Fisher like knew him personally. And then we got into DJing, and that's kind of how we
Yeah,
started.
like fun fact, my dad is a magician.
Cool.
Full time.
Wild.
So he knows all of the wedding people. So that's how I got connected with that guy. We had another friend who had worked for him, and like we would just go and hang out in his office all the time and shit. So then from there, that dude taught us how to DJ. Shout out Rob for how to call it, man.
Rob
Shout
the
out
goat,
Rob.
Rob the goat.
Isn't that wild? Like, if you guys didn't take that job, like, would you be DJing right now? Like,
Djing.
Probably,
yeah, I don't know why I had a stroke. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
probably not. to be
Probably
honest with
not.
you.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Wait, your dad's a magician?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can we just talk about that for a second?
What
That's
was
wild.
that like growing up? Did he pull things out of your ear for fun?
No.
Oh.
When he's not, he's kind of like me in that aspect. When he's not performing, he's really just like standoffish, for lack
Yeah,
of a
like
better
the
way to
complete
put it.
opposite.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so a dick. No, I'm playing.
Okay, well, cute backstory. You want to introduce yourself a little bit more?
Yeah, my name's Ryan Fisher. I was born August 6th.
2011.
Oh,
How
look
cute.
at that.
Okay.
Leo season.
Yeah.
I got here. I drove here. So, and yeah, I mean, Kev pretty much said the rest of the crap. Like,
Okay.
we grew up together, all that bullshit. So,
All the
Yeah.
important. You were his bully. Got it.
yeah.
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 That's cute, you guys.
Where did you go to school?
College?
Yeah.
Ramapo. Yeah. So we pretty much just did like DJing stuff at Ramapo and Montclair back and forth. More so Montclair. Ramapo sucks for partying. So,
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't like brag about Montclair's
Right.
partying, but
Right.
we
No,
still
I
got some
agree.
good
I
I
stuff.
mean, you guys had us. So,
True.
Exactly.
So, our quick backstory, and mine's very short because I never went to parties. I was always studying, but I feel like I knew about you guys my senior year. Everyone was like, olive oil, olive oil. And I'm like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
And you guys really blew up. You were like a big Montclair fad.
Yeah.
that was Murph's, right?
Yeah.
Senior year was
wild.
Murph's.
Yeah,
So
Murph's.
that was probably the reasoning.
Okay.
Wait, oh my God. I remember the first time I met Merkle. It was at a football party. And wait, I'll scratch this out if you don't want me to say this, but it was so funny.
I
so,
definitely did something where it crazy.
So
Continue.
no, it was so sweet. He was like, I think everybody there was like drunk. I was like stopping by, I think, to like pick somebody up, or I was there for like 30 minutes maybe. And my roommate and I are there, and I think it was Chris Palma and you, and they were talking about me singing, and then you were like, I love music, I love to sing, and I was like, that's awesome. Like, you love to sing, and like, I'm such a little asshole. I was like, sing something right now, and he goes, okay. And he goes, and he literally sang this country song.
Your man Josh Turner is my go-to.
Wow. Props
I've
to
sung
you.
it a few times.
That
Oh my
sounds
God,
exactly
wait.
something that
Baby,
this
lock
idiot would
the
do.
doors and turn the lights down low. Come on. And
I
put
swear to God.
music on it soft.
You
and
should
slow.
see the bullshit
Baby,
clout.
we
That's
ain't
what I
got
was
no
thinking.
place to go.
that he gets on karaoke Thursdays.
I hope you understand.
stupid.
All right, I'm done.
Wow.
I kid you not, my roommate and I looked at each other. We were like, why is that the sweetest human on the planet? It was adorable. We were like, okay, so we're obsessed with you. And ever
least
since
you-
I was like, Virgo.
You stepped up. Like
He
you
did.
Really stepped up.
Oh,
Did
he went all for it.
make big plays.
When did you leave the football team?
Well, I ended up finishing football at college.
you
at
did?
Montclair State,
Okay.
yeah. I transferred in, so that was kind of the thing too. So we actually, backstory before even DJing, we had a clothing company in high school. Like the end of our high school.
You guys
it was like,
did it all.
Yeah, it was a couple of us. It was like 4 or 5. 3 from Nutley, one of our good buddies, Andrew, and then 2 other kids. And then off of that, we were just like connected. We always want to do stuff together. We got into the DJing, and kind of like what you guys said, when we first went to Montclair State, before we started DJing, parties sucked. And we always thought about like, how can we make this better?
Yeah.
And we were working for this wedding company, and we were like, we should start DJing these because obviously like we can make it better.
Yeah.
And that's literally how we started.
And then
it
we
was
wasted
crazy.
a lot of money on equipment.
Oh, so much money.
Not
Ditto.
really waste, though. It wasn't a waste.
At the time, it was a lot of money. to
Yeah.
be
We were just
spending.
buying dumb stuff because we didn't
Yeah.
really know like what actually was valuable, you know.
Gotcha.
Like we bought like crappy speakers and we bring them to these parties and they'd break in 6-7 months, you know.
Gotcha.
So like
Damn.
little stuff like that.
Damn.
Can I ask, where did you guys get olive oil from?
So it's kind of it was like a joke in the wedding company that we work for. One of our buddies, Dean's, shout out Dean Anthony, another legend in the industry. He did videos back in the day during like Jersey Shore era, like 2009, 2011, like that time period. And him and this other guy, Val, they called themselves the Capicola Brothers.
Oh my God, I love it.
In the video, they're talking. It's like a VH1 behind the music type of bullshit. And in that video, they would ask them questions and be like, "Oh, what's your favorite tanning lotion?" And they would say olive oil. "What's your favorite hair product?" Olive oil. "What's your
That's
favorite color?"
amazing.
Olive oil.
Cute.
So to fuck with Dean, we would always just say olive oil after everything he said. And I always thought if some asshole could call themselves Marshmallow and be ridiculously like famous and successful, why can't olive oil work?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
literally
it's
how
a
it started.
food fetish.
Yeah.
You
Now
guys
we
can
got this
start
new
your own
DJ called Pickle who's coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So,
DJ Mustard.
yeah, you
Yeah.
never know.
Okay, what's your work friendship balance like?
We yell at each other all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
I could go in right now. So we definitely have more of a business sense now than we've ever had in terms of our partnership. I hate to say it, but I think that's the reality is like you go into business with one of your best friends, it goes to more business, you know, like
Yeah.
you kind of lose a little bit of that friendship, you know. We obviously still hang around and like kid around, but it's always business whenever we're hanging out and stuff. You know, when we first started, we used to literally DJ, and I kid you not, like every single day. So he has like a two-store garage, like a two-floor garage essentially, and in the bottom we flipped it into like a little studio.
That's awesome.
And for years, that's where we used to DJ, and like literally
It
every
was
summer, and winter,
hours.
every summer and winter, we would just DJ and practice and new music and hang out,
Damn.
and like we had so much time, like we weren't really doing gigs.
We were
or
in
anything.
college.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's all we did.
You guys weren't like studying and reading the textbook?
Nope, never.
No,
never.
I cheated my way through
That was
school.
just you.
good.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's the
But,
best way to do it.
You're
Not
the
me.
only one who went to the library.
Not me.
Or
Did
just
you notice?
make friends with your
I went to
professors,
Montclair
too.
State's library twice, and
Yeah.
that was to get Palma out of the library.
Oh, because if you needed library hours back in the day,
Yeah.
if you were a part of an
Yeah.
org. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
Wait,
sense.
were you in Pike? You were just an honorary Pike.
Yeah, so we were never in Pike.
They gave us an
technically.
award at one of their whatever
Yeah, they're like
formals.
formals.
Yeah.
What was the award?
I think it was.
I know it. It's most likely to DJ a funeral.
That's what it was.
We'll
So
keep
were
it
you
hyping no
there
matter
to
what.
accept the award?
Yeah,
Okay.
we were
We
doing the party.
DJ'd
You were,
the
oh,
formal.
you were DJ. Okay, that's awesome.
So we got smart with it in college.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
close with all of them. We do all the parties, but we never wanted to actually be a part of it because
Right.
we realized if we're a part of it, we're not gonna make money. We're
Right.
always business sense. So for all the formals and stuff, we would charge. Like
Yeah.
for
So
Dream
you
Girl.
made money.
Good for you.
yeah,
throughout
100%.
college.
It was
Yeah.
a business for us.
Definitely.
And we were always thinking like that aspect, like how can we make money out of this? How can we grow out of this? Like it's fun, it's a hobby, but like we want to make money.
Yeah.
So like Pike Dream Girl and like all those like
Getting nostalgic.
yeah, all those contestant like pageants and like the formals, the semi-formal and stuff. If we did it, we charged for that stuff.
Nice.
And
That's
we were like,
awesome.
if we were ever in Pike, we'd probably just do it for free. And,
Right,
like they'd be
yeah.
like, oh, you're a member, like you got to do it for free.
Right.
So we never did that route, but
That's
yeah.
smart.
That's awesome.
How did you feel coming from a different school? Like to
Oh, I didn't care.
be so involved?
It didn't matter to me,
Okay.
to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
What was so funny is people always thought he went to Montclair
Yeah.
State.
I did for the longest time.
I thought you did.
Yeah, I
and
did
it makes
for the longest
sense.
time.
Montclair is such like a big commuter school. You wouldn't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect it. And we grew up next to Montclair State. It's like 10 minutes from our house.
Yeah.
Like, I never lived on campus, but I was always there. People thought I lived on campus all
Right.
the time. And it was just because like I knew everyone in the fraternity sorority, and then playing football, I was like always on campus.
Right.
So, but I did like about Montclair State, even though we just bashed the nightlife scene there, which I
Sorry.
don't get me wrong. No, I'd agree. I did like the fact that even as big of a school it was with like the whole commuter thing,
Yeah.
I feel like it was tight knit for the people that did live on
Yes.
campus and like
Oh, yeah.
the fraternity kind of sorority scene. Like
Yeah.
I see these people all the time.
Right.
They still
out.
come out.
They still,
all
yeah.
the time.
Oh my
All the
God.
time. Exactly.
Wait,
They're
you know what
still
I will say about our nightlife is like, I feel like I've gone to places like Penn State and things like that. And it's like very much like you go and you're expected to be entertained or expected. And the thing I loved about Montclair State, it was like, no, you make your own good time. And I think that's what made everyone's bond really, really special
Yeah.
because it was just like the funniest nights, doing the randomest things. Like,
Yeah.
that's what made Montclair like so much fun. Mind you, when you guys came into the picture, nightlife really took a different outlet, I will say that. Because You guys really stepped it up, like especially Murphs and shit. Like we finally had
Murphs was
things
crazy.
to do.
Merce was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
That's something you had to be there. If you weren't there, you would
If
not.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
We can get into even just like the whole setup of Merce and stuff if we want to, which is still the
we
craziest
can.
thing.
Yeah.
We'll dive into it. So obviously we started DJing in college. We were doing a little fraternity sorority parties. I had class with this girl named Kendall, got friendly with her and told her I was a DJ, yada, yada. She said her father owned a bar in town, which was like Totowa, and Montclair State was like a little bit of like Totowa and Little Falls, Clifton over there. And so she proposed the idea to DJ at her dad's bar. She was like, my brother, who was like 4 or 5 years older, he went to Bryant University and he was doing college nights. Like when he was in college, like I would love to do that, you know, at my dad's place. Would you DJ? And at the time, we've never played any like bar, club. We only did like private events and frat parties.
So you were like, absolutely.
Yeah, we were like 100%. So we had a meeting with the father, and I remember too, like we kept going back and forth on like, you know,
How much should we charge him?
how much should we
Like,
charge? Like, what do we need to bring? Like,
Yeah.
is it going to be like, you know, like light?
and we came up, and I'll tell you guys, we came up with the number, like from what we knew at that point in time, we came up with, what was it, $300, right?
That was 400.
No, but we told him.
Oh, yeah, we told-
like
yeah.
we had said like 300's fine. And he's like, I'll give you 4. Don't worry about it. And we're like, oh, okay,
Sick.
this is how this works.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work that way at all. But
Yeah. Which is like crazy to think about. Like Hoboken standard for DJs of nights is like you'll see anywhere from like 350, 450, 5, 6, like somewhere in that range. So we were making good money.
and it was
right
a
out.
Wednesday. Most
Yeah.
DJs would kill the DJ on a Wednesday
Yeah.
night to make
And that's
money.
one thing too, like when we got into the scene and stuff, everyone, if you're a DJ and you're doing well, everyone's working Friday, Saturday,
Right.
most Sundays.
True.
It's the days on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's like you're going to differentiate yourself and like you're going to make the money that
Right.
you want to make and be successful. So everyone has the same schedule, the same time slots. It's like, how can you do those other parties and stuff?
Gotcha.
And with Merce was crazy too, because they wanted us to essentially like do everything, and we were very controlling. Like it's like, if it's gonna be our party, like we want to promote, we
Right.
want to like handle the door, we want to handle drink specials and come up with all of it. So we sat down with them, we had a big meeting and everything. They agreed to everything, and we like came up with, we were doing like $3 beers, we were doing $3 green tea shots.
No,
and-
$2 beers. It was
yeah.
$2 Bud Lights.
Yeah, $2 Bud Lights, $3 green teas, and I think like their tequila shot was like $5, which is like
Damn.
stupid. Probably just like
Murph's
crazy
is
house.
just like not expensive in general. So
Yeah.
like for them, they're like, yeah, whatever.
And the crazy thing about it too is like it was just a typical town bar. It's like kind of how it is.
I know, it was nothing special.
Literally nothing special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No
like,
offense.
yeah,
It's so funny. I'll drive by it like in pure daylight, and I'm like, oh fuck, like shit went down there.
yeah. And what's crazy too is like they were like, oh, like security and stuff. We use like an outside company.
Yeah.
And I pitched in Chris Palma and
I
Vin
knew
Cordasco
it.
as bouncers.
Yeah.
That's
and
wild.
at the time I was like, yo, like, would you guys go in with this and like help me out? Like you guys can bounce into the door, you get paid, we're all making money.
Yeah.
My whole goal was like, you know, let's
And I
take care of
think
everybody.
Everyone
Our,
wins.
I think our selling point with them too is like they're also on the football team, so
Yeah.
they'll bring more
Right.
football.
And that was the
kids.
For
biggest
sure.
pull. I was like, Chris Palmer's in a fraternity,
Right.
even though we DJ
Yeah,
it.
that's
Like
it.
he's in a fraternity. He plays football with me. It makes sense to have him work here. At the time,
Absolutely.
I didn't know any bartenders because if I did, I'd probably bring them in too.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was like, they'll help bring the football team here. I have 100 kids on my team. If we get kids from there and other sports, and we get fraternity, sorority, even like a portion of it, we're gonna do well.
And boy, you did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
We went crazy.
Then in the first week, there was like 50, 60 people waiting to get in the
I
place.
know.
And
Yeah.
we were ecstatic, but we were also like shocked.
I was so nervous that day. I remember. It was I get so nervous when I first start. I remember he makes fun of me. I still to this day. I had an issue like 2 weeks ago at DJ's. Actually, I started freaking out. Some of the equipment like wasn't working. I was bugging out.
Oh my god.
So I still do. It's like I'll troubleshoot and like freak out.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you're not the only
No.
DJ
not
that
at
does
all. I
that.
just like I want to make sure everything goes smoothly and
Right.
like at least on the DJing side now, when you play with the DJs and like you move over equipment, just want to make sure it's all done correctly and stuff. And like, even as knowledgeable as we are, and even guys who've been in the industry, you know, 10, 15, 20 years more than us, there's always like weird stuff that happens that nobody knows. And it's like, how do you troubleshoot it to kind of handle this issue? So yeah, I remember walking in, it was like 9 o'clock, it was dead. And I remember freaking out, being like, bro, I hope people come. I hope people
Meanwhile,
come.
we put on the flyer 9 o'clock start.
Yeah.
So nobody's gonna be there at 9
at 9
o'clock.
o'clock. But obviously we're like nervous. We want to come in and like, you know, bring a crew. I want to be like Noah's Ark with like everyone behind me, just like following me to the promised land, you know?
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, literally like an hour 15 goes by and the place mobs out. And I'll tell a great story on the first day too. So we're DJing, we're rocking it. We have an absolute great time. They love us. And at the end of the night, we see, so they had Chris and they had Vin at the door, who were my guys.
There was no bouncers inside the bar, right?
Yeah, but they had their own bouncers too, like an outside company that they still use to this day. So at the end of the night, when people were leaving, one of the bouncers went to go to the bathroom, and he's like, he calls over the manager, and he's like, yo, Brendan, like the bathroom is destroyed. So the actual toilet was broken and ripped up and flipped on the side, and
the sink was taken out of the wall.
The sink was taken out of the wall.
Ceiling was punched
and somebody must have stood on the ceiling and punched out the ceiling.
You gotta feel some type of way.
This is all on the first day, and like at the end of the night, no clue. Calls over. Brandon looks at it and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And in our heads, I'm like,
we're not gonna be able to do this
here again.
Yeah,
Like, their bathroom just got destroyed. It's probably thousands of dollars, and I'll never forget to this day. We get a call. So that was that Wednesday. We got a call the next day from Brandon's father, Pete, who's the owner, and he's like, "Boys, I'll replace that bathroom every fucking week if we do what we just did."
So and you made him hella money.
Hella money. Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
And they were chilling. And literally, we just went from there. And
like
he fixed it next week. It was like $5,000. He's like, I don't care.
It's the reputation. Like, Montclair was so hard. Like we said, like the nightlife was eh. So when we found a place like that, it was like
everyone wanted to go.
A rite of passage.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for us, even the reason why Merce like did really well, was because even the year before, Alexis was having issues with like DJ.
Yeah.
Right.
And when we first got on the scene, we thought about, hey, like let's play at the Alexis. Like DJs were there. That's the spot for Wednesdays. It was okay.
Yeah.
You know, but that was like the established spot. That and like Pub 46, but they had their issues.
God, yeah.
We played at Pub for a hot minute.
TBT.
Don't really want to talk about that. But
no, we're good.
Yeah, we're good off that. But yeah, so like it was like right opportunity, because literally the year before, like Alexis was like in and out. They weren't doing DJs. They closed down. It was like perfect time for Murphs to kind of come in to be like this new Wednesday spot.
Yeah.
And then we ran for 17 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Yeah, it was only 16, 17 weeks. It was short lived.
Oh
It got too crazy. There was nights where there was like 500 people outside.
We know.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there like a crazy fist fight one night? Isn't that why?
Yeah, there were many. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was like the crazy thing. We had like a legit street brawl outside.
Yeah.
And it was like inter college, I guess is the right term. It was like Montclair State lacrosse team was fighting a fraternity in Seton Hall. And the only reason why like I knew that is one of my good friend Nick Volpe, shout out to Volpe, his boy Austin Ray.
Love you.
His boy Austin Ray went to Montclair State with us, and his brother Connor was in that fraternity at Seton Hall. And like it was like his fraternity fought like kids on the lacrosse team. And I remember going outside, and it was a full-on brawl of like 25
Holy
cops
shit.
like literally breaking people up and stuff. And I'll also never forget this too. Like after that brawl, I'm like, all right, no way we're gonna like continue this. A, nobody got arrested. They just broke up the fight, just like told everyone to go home. And B, we're just like next week was like nothing ever happened. It's insane.
That's how the bars were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
They're
started
making money. They
fresh.
didn't care, and they're like, all right, let's keep doing it.
It's wild.
And it got too crazy, and then we actually stopped.
So what actually happened? Why'd you stop?
So they were getting a lot of heat from like the town because it was a Wednesday.
It
and
was more like
residential.
noise complaints more than anything.
And that's what they're getting a lot of heat.
It was just that.
Yeah, they said Wednesday nights is like too crazy. The neighbors keep complaining that there's like kids around and like, beer bottles and people being drunk, and it's a Wednesday. It's all residential. And
Right.
nobody was expecting that. So then they just kept asking to kind of like die it down. And they're like, you know what, let's just take a halt and maybe try to redo it for next year. And at that time we graduated and they didn't really want to do it again. And then we took on a new spot in Totowa called Cubanelle, which was
We're not going to talk
crazy.
about that one.
We're not going to talk about that.
The
But
drama.
from those
Oh, you guys
experiences-
have no idea.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
We have story for days. This
Nightlife
could be a
drama
3-hour
in general
episode.
is just crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
But literally
sure.
from that really propelled us into kind of getting into Hoboken. And like, I graduated Montclair State. I started a job in Hoboken. I was doing IT staffing recruiting, and it was just crazy. Shout out to the girl, Megan Marcotte. My mentor for my job was a bartender at Green Rock. And that's how it all
Nice.
started. Started working for this corporate company, told her I DJ'd. She was like, oh, we should try to get you in and stuff. And it took me about like 9-10 months for us to meet the manager, Brandon, there. And it started from
that took a long time.
it took like 10 months.
Green
for us trying to
Rock
get
was
in.
very like, we have 3 people who used to DJ and that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like that too now, where we don't use many people. It's just like we got our guys and that's it. And yeah, it was like we got kind of interviewed like 10 months from like going there and meeting people and be like, hey, like, is there an open spot? We'd like to kind of like try out in a way.
Right.
That's kind of happened. They're like, oh, we'll bring you on a Friday. We have 4 Friday guys. If we like you, we'll give you 1 Friday a month. And then it went from 1 Friday a month to 2 Fridays to 3 Fridays. And now we book all of the DJs there. So we're
That's
the
dope.
residents.
I would say once we got Green Rock too is when we really started to take this more serious.
Yeah.
Like we were like, okay, like now we're in like nightlife central of
Yeah.
North Jersey,
Yeah.
so we could really probably do something with it.
Yeah.
Hoboken's a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We came in also as like the youngest DJs of Hoboken too. Everyone else is like older and has been there for a while.
Really?
It's very tough to break in. Now it's a different scene. There's definitely like that change of like the newer age DJs kind of getting in. And like
Well,
the
we
way,
could take credit for that.
yeah,
I was gonna
100%.
say, well, I was
100%.
gonna say, even as soon as you guys started at Green Rock, or maybe around the time, I feel like, wait, what year was it that you guys started at Green Rock?
So we started in Green
18.
Rock was
Fall of
18
2018.
into 19.
I was just gonna say that was around the time where everybody at Montclair State was like Green Rock, Green Rock, Green
Yeah.
Rock. Like you guys, like I will say, just being on like the opposite side of it. One, like you guys are obviously great at what you do, but I think
Thank you.
also people just like loved you as humans and genuinely wanted to support you. Because there were times that I was like, I did not want to go out, and I was like, oh, but they're DJing. Like I want to make sure I'm there to support.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I've literally
Thank
done
you.
that. But I really mean that in the way of like you guys are just genuinely good people. So
I think
we just wanna
Montclair
be
felt
there.
that way about you guys.
Absolutely.
Like, we claimed you as, I mean, this sounds weird, but I wasn't a big party person. So like I literally knew you guys
Yeah.
because of what you did within the Montclair, like with our school. So we like claimed you guys. So
we still get claimed to this day. People
Right.
are like,
Yeah.
I came to Merce and saw you DJ
Yeah.
back in the day. Like all this stuff.
There's people who come to the door. What was the one time you were sitting outside and a kid came up to the bouncers and said that he knew you as he's sitting outside, doesn't even know he's there?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I know DJ Alvo. Used to see them at Mervs. They're my guys. They texted me and told me to come in. I'm sitting outside. All I have is my baseball cap on, and I hear this. And obviously, I don't want to like interrupt, so I just like lower my head. One of the bouncer looks at me and he's like, "Is this dude serious?" And I'm like, "Yo," I wink at him like, "Just keep it going." So the one bouncer's like, "Oh, you know Alvo? They're not even working today." And the kid's like, "Nah, like bullshit. I saw their flyer. He just texted me to come in. All this stuff goes like for 10 minutes, telling me how much he knows me, and I'm just sitting there like hearing everything, just have my head down. Kid had no clue who I was, just heard the name, and then I popped up and I'm like, "What's up, bud?" And he looks at me and I'm like, "You know who I am, right? I'm Olive Oil." And he's like, "Oh, what's up, bro? Blah blah." All this stuff.
because you texted him, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You're like,
Told
"You got
him to
my
come
number?"
in, cut the line and everything.
So I think moving forward, like, you know, Justin Bieber has Beliebers. You're going to have Oilers.
Some oil heads.
You're gonna have
Oil
Red
heads.
We
Hawks.
got some oil heads, some Red Hawks.
So,
They don't come up with a name.
Oily Red Hawks.
We
have
got the
to
oily
ask.
boys before. Some girl started calling us, I don't know, some random girl down the shore.
Somebody
She'll see
called us olive juice too.
Yeah. Like,
Ew.
oily boys. We got
Oh
that
my
before.
god.
no.
People call us the oils.
Yeah, the
There's
olives,
a lot.
The olives too.
Well, from the beginning, because obviously you guys started this pretty young, I would say.
Yeah.
Did you plan for this to be a long-term thing, or was it just supposed to be fun, like something you did in the meantime to make some extra money?
I want to say I saw that it could potentially be something.
Yeah.
I never thought it actually would have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
I studied
Kind
finance.
of one of those things.
Yeah, I studied finance in college, and I was like working literally up until 2 weeks ago. I quit my corporate job to actually like fully do this kind of full time. And yeah, kind of like Ryan said, like we were practicing doing it was always kind of a dream of us. Like, hey, like to do this and make music and get bigger and kind of play outside of Jersey and play all over the world. And we're not there yet. We definitely got a lot more stepping stones to kind of get there, but we definitely hit a point where we kind of looked at each other and we were like, hey, if we take this serious, like we can get there. And we have been getting there with some pretty big strides, I feel like,
for sure.
which is
awesome.
which has been great, which is absolutely great. And I think the biggest thing, like you said, is like the people coming support us and all the love and
Right.
and all the all essentially all the happiness that these people kind of come out and bring to us, like really just supports us and makes us like we have to actually like do this, like it's our time to actually see if we can make it. And that was kind of my issue, like last 3 years I've been funding kind of our dream here with me working a corporate job, but I've had so many people supporting me. It's like, why am I half in, half out? Like I need to fully go in. So right place, right opportunity and stuff. And I took that 2 weeks ago. So we'll see.
We split everything.
What?
Don't make it like you funded everything.
No, I mean like funding what I need to do.
Here's,
No, I didn't
here's
mean
the
like that.
argument.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that.
Here's
I
the
mean, funding my own,
argument.
living my own life, my own bills and everything, like
I
moving
gotcha.
out and stuff.
Do you guys ever
funding
feel like you're in a
everything.
relationship? Do you ever see on like 22 Jump Street
We
where
fight
they're
all the
like,
time.
yeah, and
all
they're
the
like,
time.
I just need some space from you, and it's like as if they're in like an actual relationship.
Literally, we were fighting yesterday.
Are you okay?
Did we?
Yeah,
Are we good?
What?
We did?
We were talking about the Cindy thing.
Oh.
Yeah, my one friend Cindy was like, I saw Fisher a couple weeks ago and he was such an asshole.
That wasn't a fight.
Yeah, but you're getting mad. It's all good.
Because I was telling you what actually happened,
All right,
which I'm not going to
we're
say.
on a
but-
podcast. We gotta go.
All right, moving forward. This is okay. You can be as explicit or whatever.
Fuck. Sorry, I get that one.
Describe like an average nightlife for you guys.
Interesting. That's a good question.
What is it? Are girls throwing their bras at you? Is it that crazy? Or is it a bunch of 20-year-olds trying to get in the bar? Is it Montclair people that follow you everywhere? Do your parents show up? I don't know. Tell us.
Our parents have showed up before.
I love
yeah.
it.
Wild.
I got my dad on the Green Rock.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sunday fun days. They've come. I don't know.
I'll let you take this one.
You know what? Start
It's,
from the beginning. So when do you go? How does the setup work? Do you know the staff?
So, all right, I'll just stick with Green Rock because it's
Okay.
the easiest. Green Rock, we start at 8 o'clock. We don't really do anything until like 10:30.
Don't worry.
but,
It's
yeah.
all good. We can go there later than today.
Yeah, say hi to everybody. Especially, always got to say hi to the kitchen staff. Like, if there's any DJs listening, know your staff. If you don't know the staff, you're like stupid.
Most important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make or break a nightlife.
Yeah.
And honestly,
They will tell
they'll
the
be your biggest
manager not to
supporters.
rehire you. They don't. They don't
shit.
give
Yeah,
a shit.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It's like you got to. I remember first time working in Green Rock, we met this kid Will who used to work with us. And he was in the back bar, and like we didn't know anybody. We got
First
friendly
thing he
with him.
said to us is he listened to one of our mix shows.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like they look, the workers will look into you if you're like a new person
Well, it's
that's
a
coming
team.
in.
You make them money.
Yeah, it's like
Exactly.
family.
Exactly.
Family.
Especially from like the bartender stuff. But yeah, you got to know your staff.
Yeah.
But typically now, like all the sound and everything is already set up there. We have controllers that we keep like in the DJ booth, but we also bring one as well. So we'll usually just kind of bring it in, talk to the staff, kind of set up, which is like a 5-minute setup. It's really easy. Just
Yeah, maybe do like a cherry bomb here and there.
a couple shots.
Loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
Have a Red Bull.
But yeah, the nightlife scene has changed probably from when we first started kind of now. Like it's definitely, especially in the summer too, it's a lot younger in terms of the crowd that comes in. We do get like a pretty new 21-year-old crowd. When we first started, kind of like what Jackie said, like everybody was at Hoboken was like the spot to go on the weekends. So every time we used to DJ, we used to see like a lot of our really good friends and stuff. Not so much anymore. But just kind of making new connections, like new Hoboken people along the way.
Yeah.
But definitely in the summertime, it's usually a lot younger in terms of the crowd that you get. And then the fall, at least on like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it gets a little bit older of like that crowd that kind of migrates to the shore will come back.
Right.
And then Sundays for not Montclair, for Green Rock, Sunday Fun Day for Green Rock is like kind of like, the regular central of like regulars in the last like,
Okay.
2, 3, 5, 10 years. And they all come on Sunday, which is like the best day in my opinion. So those are the best days because you'll just see like all these people when you first started, people even before, we started DJing there, we would just see out and stuff. And like most of our friends will always be there on Sundays. So that's like kind of the best day to play in my opinion. And then it just depends on different places and stuff,
Yeah. We're specifically referring to Green Rock. Got it.
Yeah.
Wait,
currently.
I kind of want to segue and ask, what is the craziest experience you guys have had, like playing? Like what is literally like you'll be 80 years old.
Crazy.
I can't
Literally,
say.
like, yeah, I'm gonna say I knew something came to your mind because I saw it in your eyes. Like, what is the craziest thing that has happened? Like, good or bad? Like, you're gonna be 80 years old and be like telling your grandkids, like, want to hear something fucked up that happened when I was young?
Yeah, I mean,
Do we say it? Do we say
I
it?
don't even know what you're thinking of. I'm thinking of some fucked up shit.
I'm thinking of some pretty fucked up shit too.
You guys can say it when you cut it out.
Yeah. Unless you don't want to tell us.
I don't
I'll
even know if I want to
respect
tell
that.
you guys, to be honest.
I would tell you guys because I feel like we're all bros.
Yeah.
If he's going to tell you, I'll see what he says. and then
Oh,
I'll
you
debate
think I know
if
what
can
you're gonna
tell mine.
say?
Go ahead.
All right.
What did you do?
What did you do?
What did I do? So I slept at Green Rock. I mentioned that before. I slept in the
Yeah.
attic with one of the owners. We did a TikTok series called Animals in the Attic. We got hammered and slept in the bar.
Nice.
So I
That's
legit slept
wild.
on couch cushions.
I mean,
So that
I
was
can
pretty
tell
crazy.
this. I've had this happen a couple times. It actually just happened. We were DJing in Morristown, and a girl just comes up to the DJ booth and just points at me and goes, olive oil. I'm like, yeah, like, what do you want? And she's like, can I come over there? I was like, okay. So she comes over and she's like, you're DJ Olive Oil. I'm like, yes, you said that already. And she goes, my friends think we should bake out. I was like, okay. I mean, she wasn't a bad looking girl. I was like, okay. Like, and then
You're like, let me assess.
but then after the fact, like all of her friends proceed to take videos and shit like that. And I'm like,
Oh
Jesus Christ.
my
Like,
God.
what the fuck is wrong with you
He was
guys?
just
That's
like straight
weird.
hooking up. I was
Yeah.
like at the bar. I looked back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like kissing this girl who's DJing.
Oh my
Like in action.
Do people approach?
That's happened a couple times. It's really
Do people
odd.
approach you while you're
killer.
mid, like,
Oh, it's the worst.
all the time?
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the time.
Like, I could see if someone was like, "Can I get you a drink?" But like to like.
That's
you
why
wanna-
here. So that's why places like DJs and Porta and Asbury are the best because the
player. Shout out
DJ
Porta.
booth is very
Shout out
secluded
DJs.
and you like
they
people
can't
can't
get
get
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah.
You're like, what? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cage is good in the front, but on the side, people get in. But
Yeah.
probably the worst thing, the most annoying thing that kind of happens all the time now is now the phone series where everyone puts like what they want to say on the phone without actually saying it. So we'll just see them, or people just run to the DJ booth, not say a word, and have a song on their head. Be
Yeah.
I
like,
usually
play
just
this.
give them the finger.
I was literally
that's-
just thinking that.
Yeah, that's like the most annoying thing. I'm trying to think like other crazy,
as if
like
like
wild
you're
things.
there for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've
is
had
their
that so many
party.
times. It's like, can you play this song? And like, we'll be like, sometimes we'll nicely say like, yeah, and maybe
We'll see if we
actually
can
won't
work it
play
in. Blah blah blah.
Is that annoying when people ask you that?
Yes. Because like, as a DJ, you're constantly thinking of what to do next.
Right.
You're never worrying about what's happening now.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes up and disrupts that, it fucks up your whole rhythm.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Rude.
Yeah, I feel like we are probably one of the nicest DJs
Probably,
in
yeah.
Hoboken because we do take a lot of requests.
Well, you make out with the.
Yeah, you can't get nicer
I mean,
than that.
that's him.
You're pleasuring
I don't
people
kiss girls.
downstairs. You
I
know?
don't kiss girl. But yeah, no. So we have a couple cool things we do at Green Rock. But kind of circling back with that, actually happened to me yesterday. You weren't even there. It was really annoying. Some girl came up to me and told me to stop playing. I was playing like a little sampler. It's like, put your hands up. It's like, put your fucking hands up. It's a little
I
John.
agree with her. You play that shit way too much.
You weren't even there, but yeah, she came up to me the first time. She's like, "Can you not play that? You're just playing it the whole time. Just play something else." And I looked at her and I was
Audacity.
like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
But yeah, typically we do take like a good amount of requests and stuff. It is annoying, but like it is a part.
We're usually nice
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
a patron at a bar, if I hated the music, I would just be bitching to my friend at the bar. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be go
No,
up
people
to
have
the
balls.
DJ.
Yeah.
people
people
are
are
nuts.
fucking
You're
nervy.
nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
We got some crazy
The
shit.
best ones are the people who ask for a song and then they won't leave.
Yeah, so I was going to
until
get to
you
that.
play the
They'll like,
song.
ask for a song and they'll just sit there or stand there and literally just like be to your
And,
side,
and
just waiting
in
for
my
the song.
head, I instantly just think like, now I'm definitely not playing your song.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like you're
You
not
just
gonna
be
move.
like, yeah, next.
Yeah.
It's gonna be next.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
next.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
next.
I usually say, "Oh, I don't have internet. I can't download it. I don't have it."
Yeah.
Like that's my little excuse. But
Damn,
we
that's
also do
annoying.
Because
that.
it's always just some, not all the time, but there's always just some random ass track that nobody knows. It's gonna
Yeah.
kill the
Yeah.
vibe of the entire place. Like,
If you request a good song, we'll play it. Like,
Yeah.
I've had people come up, give me a good song, and I get fucking hyped. I'm like, let's go. That's a great song. I'm
Yeah.
play it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not opposed to it, but when it's a song that's like completely out of the rhythm in terms of what we're doing, if we're playing house and they want a crazy hip hop song, or if we're playing hip hop and they want country, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's bringing me out of the flow. I'll get to it if it's a good song eventually, but you got to give me time. You know?
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask that. Like, aside from Green Rock, what is your vibe as Olive Oil? Do you
Interesting.
Are you obviously? I don't think you're country, although you really rocked that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's my karaoke song.
I mean, like typically we do open format, but we're majority house, like
Yeah,
EDM.
that's
music.
like the style.
Yeah.
Hoboken, you pretty much have to be open format. You have to play
You gotta play a
everything.
little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Do you guys make your own original stuff?
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like maybe she's from Jersey jingle?
Like,
To be honest, I didn't make that. I just took a bunch of royalty-free
Obviously.
sounds
oh yeah,
and I cut them all up.
that's fine. No, we were so
We
good
didn't
with that.
expect you to sing.
No, we wanted actually both your voices on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that was a little chop shop, but we got that done.
Yeah, so fun fact, they did actually help us put together that little cute
Yeah, it was
jingle
like
you hear.
the
5
jingle.
months
Do
of
the
our
jingle.
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, Fisher
Yeah.
did most of it, not gonna lie. It's all good.
Hey, it's a half of olive oil.
But
so
when
we're
you
happy with it.
do produce your own music, what is it like?
Dance music.
Yeah, dance music, mostly EDM, house. Like that's the stuff I like.
Yeah.
Most of the music I like, I actually don't really play at Green Rock because the general crowd doesn't like it. Like Green Rock is open format, but it's very like commercially house. It's like
gotcha.
the house and like the big room style dance music that everyone kind of knows.
I would say that's
And-
just Jersey.
Yeah,
Jersey
Yeah.
in general.
Jersey in
Just like-
general.
Literally.
Yeah. But slowly Jersey is actually getting into like deeper, darker house music where you can play like what they call like, you know, harder techno and like tech house and stuff. So I feel like people's appetite are changing because a lot of DJs in Jersey are playing that. When we first started at Green Rock, I remember I wouldn't touch any of these songs that I like personally liked, and now I can play them, and you know the crowd is into it and they like it. So I feel like the appetite of EDM, especially on like the East Coast, is definitely changing, and people are a lot more accepting to dance music because it's always been in this scene that like Jersey was kind of open format, and like
Yeah.
you go into New York specifically, like Manhattan, and certain spots are very hip hop based. Like that's a style of music. That's like the club that you go for. It's a little bit of like the house music, but it's mostly hip hop based. You go into Brooklyn, it's the complete opposite. Brooklyn's all house music central and stuff. And Jersey's a little bit of both, you know. But I feel like Hoboken in terms of a town is a lot like open format, EDM, and most of Jersey is now getting to be like that.
Yeah,
I just think
that's cool.
that really has to just do with the popularity of the genre. Like that deeper shit is getting more just popular in general. There's because now like Brooklyn Mirage is booking these acts that never would have been booked in New York 10 years ago.
That's so true.
And how would you guys say that, like, because, you know, we're a Jersey-based podcast. How would you say that Jersey, as a characteristic, has helped you guys in your career, or like your music or your inspiration, or even just your clientele?
Yeah.
I mean, the name.
Yeah, the name. I mean, the whole name with olive oil, like even one of our stickers, like olive oil product Jersey, like we always try to rep that.
Yeah.
Just kind of how we rep olive oil, and like we grew up in Nutley. It was like a very Italian town growing up. It was kind of also helped with the olive oil thing. But for Jersey, for me, I feel like I'm blessed to play in New Jersey because we do have the best of kind of everything in terms of like the music scene. If you like look at Jersey as a whole, you know, Hoboken and Morristown are very, you know, two big like college center towns that do open format that are big for bars and clubs that have a great music scene. But then you look at Jersey, you right across the water, you have New York City. You have, you know, the birthplace of most music, you know,
Yeah.
where you can do anything in New York. And even in Jersey, you have the Shore, you know, which is also a phenomenal spot,
Right.
as well as being able to play at Philly too, which has another huge scene of, you know, hip hop and even like a lot of spots that do like house and stuff. And then to top it off is like you have the casino spots, which is Atlantic City,
Yeah.
which kind of changes the game because there's a lot of, you know, countries and DJs that I know that will travel to different states and stuff, and they pretty much play like casino like type clubs, and that's where they
awesome.
go. So like Jersey, you really have everything. So
Yeah.
kind of being blessed to like, in a way, it's a good spot.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
people always like to trash Jersey for whatever. I mean,
know.
for whatever reason it is, but
Rep in Jersey.
like it's probably one of the more marketable states. Like,
1000%.
like, people love, like, we go down and play Charleston, or we went down, did Clemson, Florida State, whatever school we DJ'd at, whatever other club bar we DJ'd at out of state. Like, the first thing they always say, oh, we got these guys from Jersey. Like, it's like a big deal that, like, they got, like, these crazy motherfuckers from Jersey.
Yeah. They go buy olive oil.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
It's true though.
Paulie D
Even,
made a
like,
whole career for it.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say,
Yeah.
even when I tell people like our podcast name, everyone giggles.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's adorable," and
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
like, "Why?"
And it, like you
Gives you
said,
the
it's
great
great
trash.
for a DJ. We have literally everything here,
Yeah.
which is awesome, and like it really helps. It's crazy too because like Jersey doesn't really have like a lot of crazy like house music guys like blown up and stuff.
Yeah.
But we have so many DJs and so many guys that are traveling and doing their thing and stuff. It just goes to show that like, you know, where we are in the area, we can kind of go wherever and play, which
Yeah,
is definitely
cool.
our goal in the future.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I was just gonna segue. Where do you guys see yourself in 10 years?
Wow.
Fish, you got that. I've been talking too much.
Main stage on some festival stage.
Yeah.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
minimum. 10 years? Minimum.
Yeah.
What's
10
your
years for sure.
ideal festival?
For me, I want to do Burning Man. Just
Okay.
because that's just like a funky one. You can kind of like just do some weird shit. But for like a mainstream thing, I would say Tomorrowland. That's
That's
the
awesome.
best. That's
I
the
would love
best
to
of the
play
best.
EDC Vegas or Ultra.
Yeah.
Would definitely be a big thing for me. But yeah, kind of segueing off of kind of what Fisher said, or piggybacking rather. I think in the next like few years for us, the biggest thing is music production, more remixes, more originals, building out Spotify, Apple Music, that crowd, and then getting towards like a national schedule. We're both, I just turned 27. He's about to turn 27 in a month. We're blessed that we pretty much conquered every spot in Jersey that we ever want to play. When we first started
awesome.
DJing, we want to get into DJs. This is our second year we got into there. Atlantic City is another very big spot to get in. We haven't headlined yet, but I can see us down the road definitely get into that route. But we're playing in AC more. We've conquered Hoboken. We just started playing in Morristown. We've played in the city before. Like, we want to get outside of Jersey the next few years and start playing. And not just like Philly, New York, like, you know, Boston potentially, or Florida, or go out on the West Coast. So that's definitely the goal of ours. We don't have a manager, probably a manager and like getting a talent team and stuff, or an agency, booking agency in the future would be huge. But we've always kind of focused on like doing stuff ourselves. And, you know, it's got us to this point, which has been great.
Yeah.
But moving forward is definitely building those connections, all networking game, just kind of like anything else in the world. You got to, you know, it's who you know. Like this guy, he books pretty much all the big clubs and nightlife in Boston, and he plays a national schedule. He'll play New Jersey, he'll play at like Harrods down the shore. In Atlantic City, he'll play somewhere nowhere in New York City. He'll play down in Charleston, a Trio, play at Green Light Social in Dallas. Like, he has a national schedule, but he knows those guys that book all those places and can put people in those places. So for us, it's like we have to start traveling and networking with some of these guys that can maybe put us in, like, you know, maybe in the fall, we've talked about it potentially going up to Boston and playing a couple places there. And maybe we'll have him kind of come down to, you know, to Jersey and stuff. It's like people look down on the aspect of like swapping, they call it, like a gig for gig. Like, I'll get you here, you get there. I don't really see it like that. It's kind of like building more of like a team around it, where it's like, I could be used with him up there and I'll bring him down here, and not like really gig for gig. But that's a big thing. It's like just getting connected to this. And then there's other like booking companies and stuff. There's a company called Beat Gig that like will book DJs and stuff for like even colleges, like fraternity type events and like other bars and stuff. So like that's kind of the next step, is like aligning places that kind of fit our style and kind of, figuring out, how do we get to them? How do we play them?
Yeah, it's mainly just connect. It's like anything else. It's connections.
Yeah.
You just have to know the right people. If you don't know the right people, you're fucked.
Yeah, for like the bigger shows and festivals, then like the booking and the agency and all that definitely gets a little more important. But play like a more of a national schedule where it's like playing at like other bars and clubs, not really like festivals. You could pretty much do it on your own, which is crazy.
That's awesome that you guys do it that way. And especially now, like you're at a platform where people are going to be coming to you, and that's like the best place you can be, which is awesome. You guys should be really proud of yourselves.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Montclair State, Red
I feel
Hawk,
like we're
Hawk up,
like
Hawk
I
up.
said. I feel like we own you. I feel like we're like part of your journey.
No, but that's the best
100%.
kind of fans to have.
Yeah.
That is the best because you have organic following and you have people who literally watched you go through it.
Yeah.
And literally they're going to watch all your successes, all your failures, everything. And in the moment, it kind of feels really like iffy, but when you guys make it, like which
that
you've already
word.
made it so well, but like when you guys make it, like all of us are going to be like, oh, fuck yeah. You
and then we'll go back and we'll do this again, baby. We're bigger and better.
we are
Absolutely.
also gonna make it at what? I don't know, but she's gonna make it. I'm just gonna be her manager.
She's going to be my manager.
Yeah,
No, we'll all
so
make it. Come on.
I'll be your
We're all
manager,
winning.
too,
We're
once I get
all
up
winning,
there.
baby. That's
Yeah.
the best thing. All
Hell
got
So thanks again for joining us. I
No problem.
loved this.
Yeah.
Next time
was a
you
lot of
guys
fun.
do a crazy show that you have a story to tell, let us know. We'll like reset this up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
my cousin goes to Florida State, so you guys can come with me.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Go Knowles.
Okay, thanks
yeah.
again for joining us. Again,
Yes.
check out Fioris. Definitely follow them on social media. Go ahead. What is it?
Olive Oil Music on everything.
All socials.
On everything.
Even Tinder. Just kidding.
Are you guys single?
I am single.
Yes.
They're single.
Aw, hit them up, ladies.
They like to make out.
Not me. I don't kiss girls.
All right. Thanks again for joining. And yeah.
We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Bye.
Peace.
Bye, guys.